Hi guys, it's Bianca. Today I'm going to discuss Botox and casting with cerebral palsy along with physical therapy. Um, I first tried Botox when I was 14 years old. We had just moved from the Bronx to New Jersey, and um, I tried it to see what it was like and see if it would help the spasticity in my right arm. Um, So the first time I went in, I didn't know what to expect. I thought, it would probably hurt, but I didn't know exactly what to expect. They used the longest needle, like it was huge, and it hurt. It was excruciating pain. Like they put me on the table, one doctor or nurse was like holding my arm, and they put that needle in and I screamed bloody murder. And they were jiggling it around in the muscle and doing it in different spots. The first time, I'm not gonna lie, the first time it did help, but the second time, the third time, they did it in different spots and it did not help, and it was not worth the excruciating pain. They were supposed to give me something so that I wouldn't remember, some kind of medication so that I would not remember what happened. They never waited long enough for it to kick in. I know this because every time I would get it done, I would remember the excruciating pain and screaming. But I wouldn't remember the drive-through breakfast afterwards. I would be eating in the car and falling asleep, and my mom would be like, Bianca, chew. So it totally was not for me. It would have my arm most of the time drooping down even further, and my bra strap would keep falling down, and that was not good at all. It wasn't helping the spasticity where it needed to be because they were injecting it in the wrong parts of the muscle. And I hate that parents with babies are like, oh yeah, I held my kid while they got Botox and it doesn't hurt. Are you the child? Are you the one experiencing the pain? No. So you cannot say that it doesn't hurt. It's extremely painful, at least in my experience. And, you know, unless you have a crazy amount of spasticity, I wouldn't recommend it. As an adult, I went somewhere else and I was like, okay, I'm willing to try Botox, but you'll sedate me, right? And they were like, we don't do that. And I'm like, well, then you're not giving me Botox then. Because I'm fine with, getting blood work done. I'm fine with injections. But when you put that Botox needle, that huge Botox needle, in my muscles, it's excruciating. It's absolutely excruciating. And I have decreased sensation on the right side, but that's only on the surface. It's not in the muscle. I can feel that. I can feel what you're doing. The second thing I wanted to talk about was casting. Now, I guess I was around, I don't know, between like 14 and 15. And I needed an AFO because I hadn't worn one in a while. Because the one I had from the Bronx was big and clunky and heavy, and I, didn't want to wear it. So, in New Jersey, they were like, okay, well, we cannot give you an AFO right away because you're too tight. So we have to cast you. We have to put you in a cast, basically. Your leg in a cast. Okay, cool. So they do that. They cast me, and they do the cast, and then they leave it on. I go home. In the middle of the night, I'm crying. I'm crying because my leg is burning. The cast is so tight. I'm just screaming and crying, and we had to end up going back at 6 a.m. so that they could. We had to drive like an hour away because that's where the children's specialized hospital was. So, we ended up going there, and then they cut it off, like kind of like cut it in half, and then they put it back together like an AFO, like a